Okay, so whenever you're comfortable, you're laying back. Start to feel your muscles relaxing into this shape. Start to feel your breath flowing. And already here, we're going to immediately start to connect with our intention for today's class. The intention is almost like a science experiment. The idea is the more open my body is, it does that have a correlation with how deep I can settle into meditation, into a good relaxed place. And so almost like a little experiment, we're going to have several different types of class where after we've done, several different stretches or exercises, we'll then just pause and do a little meditation just to see how deep we can get within that minute or two. And then we'll, continue on, do a little bit more, and then pause and do a little mini meditation. And the idea is that we're testing, like I said, is it getting deeper and deeper as we go, as our body feels better? And so just kind of pay attention. Is there any sort of correlation in your system? So we're going to start off with a mini meditation right here to kind of set up our control. So what I'll do is I'll help you progressively relax different parts of the body. And then I'll leave you alone for a minute or so just to see what your baseline is right now. So as I name a body part, just imagine that area of your body completely relaxing. So starting with toes, feet, calves, thighs, hips, abdomen, chest, arms and hands, shoulders, neck, head, and all sorts of facial muscles. The jaw, the tongue, the inner and outer corners of the eyes. I'll leave you here for a minute or so just to breathe, just see how deep you can go. Just enjoy this for 3 more good breaths. Beautiful. So let's begin some of our initial stretches. Arms going all the way to the back wall. The shoulders go right, left. Maybe another time or two to each side. And hands come around the right knee, pulling that one in. Maybe a few ankle rolls. Right leg up to sky. Right ankle all the way hooking on that back left into the fabric by your ear. Back left. Once we've got it there, slide the shin in. Take a couple of bonus breaths here. Enjoying a good inhale. A nice exhale. Free out the leg, give it a little stretch. Drop it down. Left knee in, a little hug, maybe some ankle rolls. Leg up to sky when you're ready. Open the heel over, slide the shin in. And another good inhale. Exhale, we'll free out this leg. Give it a good stretch up the sky. And we'll drop it all the way down. Once it's there, let's kick feet free off the front. Rise up. So easy to already get into our first inversion. Let's hook our thumbs. Push the fabric down to the backside of pant line. Once we're there, lean halfway back to lock it in place, gripping on. Last step, legs wide as we tilt back. And just wrap the feet, letting the body relax down. We'll give us plenty of time for this, but that being said, you know my thing. Don't feel like it's a competition. Don't feel like you have to stay as long as anybody else. It's just you and your body today. So those that want to be upside down a bit longer, don't feel any pressure to come out soon. Those of us that just got up, take a couple of good breaths. Let that neck roll left and right. Good. Once we're comfortable being up, let's clasp our hands behind our back. Pull the hands away from you a little bit if you can. And then imagine that the arms are like the huge arm of that grandfather clock ticking left and right. Let the hands go to the left, the shoulders lean to the right a little bit, maybe even head to the right. And when it comes up, tick over to the other side. It's kind of easing just a little bit deeper in the neck and in the shoulders. Eventually coming upright, Bring those clasped hands over to the right hip or the right side of the waist, whatever feels better. And then drop the right ear to stay over the right shoulder. If this angle feels perfect for the tightness on left, that's okay. If you need to slightly adjust head to tilt forward or backward just a hair, that's great. Find the good angle that is helpful. Good. Taking a nice inhale. Exhale, head up. Switch hands over to the left hip or left waist. And then drop left ear over left shoulder, enjoying that stretch on the right. Good. One more breath in and out. We'll release. Grabbing onto the fabric, let's come up and out. Beautiful. So from here, what we're going to do is bend our elbows. We're hooking the fabric and walking forward. So walking forward, that will start to pull your elbows behind you. Leaning forward a bit is nice. We're getting our pecs and the front side of our shoulders to stretch. If you want more, you'll walk the feet back because that increases the steepness. It is a bit of pressure on the skin of the elbows, so don't feel like you have to force anything. Yep, a little bit of weight over your hips makes it easier, so your choice. One more good inhale. And exhale. Weight over your legs, roll up. Bring out the fabric. We're still standing in front. We're gonna grab our hands onto that fabric behind us. Grab a little bit wider than your shoulders. And from here, keeping a nice straight line from ankles up to shoulders, lean back into the fabric just a little bit, enough that it kind of pulls the shoulders into the stretch that way. You try stepping a little closer, sometimes closer, further, you can play with different things. Good. Okay, easing out of that. Bring the fingers onto the inside. Maybe step right under plumb line here. And then what we're going to do is bring ourselves up to the point where it's like a good stretch, not quite up above you, not quite at that spot behind us we were playing with, but it's kind of like partway in between. It's like a figure Y kind of behind us. So if you're not feeling the stretch, grip a little bit closer and come back up. Good. If this angle is enough that you can come all the way up over your head and forward, great. If you need to slide some fabric extra through your hands, that's okay. Fabric is in front of us. Let's roll our shoulders up, back, and then just drop them down. Do that 2 more times. Up, back, and drop. Good. One more. Beautiful. Grabbing onto the fabric. Again, a bit wider than shoulders. We're going to imagine we've got a huge cauldron in front of us. So we're gonna stir it in one direction and then stir it in the other direction. We'll all start off going toward the front door. So the arm that's closer to the front door, lock that one straight. Bend that one at your waist, I lied. So the one that's closer to the front door, bend that elbow. The other one goes straight in the other direction, that front door side. Good. From there, both arms go straight, circling through the center. When we go over to the back door, bend the elbow that's closer to that side. Good. And rise our way up. Good. Nice and slow motion, reverse it. So keep your elbow closer to the front door bent. Other arm straight, lean toward it. Circle straight, both arms through the center and switch. Good. And rise, good. So if you like this motion, you can continue to go at this pace. If you want to go a bit faster, that's fine. If there's any spots where you just want to pause, that's okay. Just kind of ease into these parts of the waist and the shoulders, the side ribs, all these good things. Good. When you're pretty good, come up to the center. We'll take our right side inside. Gripping up on the fabric nice and high, start to sink your weight forward. Feel what wants to stretch for you here. Good. Both hands clasp over to left side. Rotate those standing toes over to your left long edge of the mat and then sink forward, warrior two. Maybe one arm opens, pressing shoulder or tucked up in the fabric. Maybe other arm opens. Try to keep the spine upright like we're sitting in meditation. Good. Hands grab onto the fabric. We're going to take tree pose. So this foot that's hooked by the fabric, that foot comes up to your other thigh if possible. And what we're going to try to do is take a standing little mini meditation here. So if you need to keep eyes open, if you need to grab onto the fabric to have balance, that's okay. If you can, remember to ground the bottom foot into the earth. Try to stack your spine up tall. Maybe hands at heart if the balance is there. And if you can close your eyes, try to find calmness. Just as calm as if our eyes were. Good. Opening the eyes, let's slip the fabric down to this ankle. On this further left hand, grab the right hand and slide it down. Left hand grabs the same strand and slides up. If you want to stretch forward more weight, that's okay, up to you. Yeah, chest nice and open. Good, weight over standing leg, grip one hand on each side. Bend the toes back forward, and we'll take a twist. Left hand grabs to right or pushes on the outside of right. Right arm spirals open. How relaxed can your shoulders be? How much can you include the neck? Squeezing into some twists, some of those tight stuff just by being. Good, grab one hand on each side. Either slide down for the hamstring or slide up and sink weight forward. Beautiful. So second side. From here, you can either step this foot out, step the other one in, or take a swinging switch. Step one foot directly into the fabric, the other one goes straight. Beautiful. Slip it down the thigh. That works too. Make sure you're not too far behind plumb line, just a couple of inches. And then sink your weight forward. Maybe you're feeling your calf, maybe you're feeling the front of that right hip. Just depends on what your body needs. Beautiful. Gripping both hands over to right side, rotate open, warrior 2. Hands grip on. Tree pose, set up the foot. Standing foot, imagine it spreading open, super wide on the floor, so there's no way you could fall. Maybe hands at heart if the balance is okay. Posture tries to rise tall. If you're doing okay, maybe eyes closed. Try to feel yourself just as steady by picturing mentally the room, and hold on to that picture. For one more good inhale, calmness inside. Exhale, open. Slip down to the ankle. Slide the right hand up, the left hand down. You choose how much weight to sink forward. Beautiful. Weight over standing leg, grip one hand on each side, rotate forward. We'll take a spinal twist, right hand grips left or pushes outside left. The other arm opens. Good, grip onto each. Either slide hands down or slide up for splits. Nice inhale. Exhale, come up. Take the leg out. The nice thing about aerial yoga is we kind of have built-in meditations, just inverting, honestly, since you can't think about much else but your body and just sinking deep into it. The inversions are a huge meditation time. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to start a sequence from an inversion. So coming to stand in front of the fabric. Hook your thumbs on the back end. We're keeping the fabric right across sacrum. Maybe even lifting up to tippy toes if you need to. And then one foot steps forward, one foot back, so we can bend our knees, lock our weight into the fabric. Once you're there, you want to come under plumb line so you won't swing so much. So tiptoe forward and then hands up, knees wide. Get them all simultaneously. Hook the ankles. Let's free out our right leg. Get nice and long. Rotate it to point at the space behind your back. And then bending your right knee, see if right hand, grab that right foot. Do you feel a quad stretch? Left hand grabs instead now. Your free right hand comes to the space in front of your chest, and then you cross it over your chest, so it's going to the left. Good, let your spine twist. Good. So from here, let's go ahead and unwind this right leg, and then swing it back around to hook in front. And let's do second side. So left leg long, swing it behind us, and then bend the knee. Grab onto the left hand. Maybe you feel the quad. Maybe you feel a good back bend just by gripping on. Switching it up, take the twist. Right hand grips. Left hand comes in front of our chest and then crosses over. Feel that good spiral. Good. When you release, go ahead and wrap this foot. You can stay a bit longer. You can play with hands on the floor, kind of spiraling the spine. You can come out at any point. Kind of up to you. For as long as this feels helpful, let this be your little meditation. And when you come out, let it still be your meditation. Rush to come out. Those that are up, yeah, feel free to either take a nice little X shoulder stretch, leaning forward, or clasping hands behind your back. Take that pull behind. So using the fabric to help us out, we're going to leave this left foot for the back of the mat, step the right foot forward, have it so both heels can be down. And then arms spreading wide, we'll lean forward. Depending on how this feels for your front leg that's trying to be straight, maybe you lift up the toes to get deeper into the calf. If that feels like it's jamming the bones into the ground, just drop it down. It just depends on how it settled down for you. Good. Foot down, torso up. Grab onto the fabric. We're going to try to do a nice jump up to switch out. Good. Open the arms, lean forward. Maybe the toes lift. Goes down. And here, let's try to go for lucky number 7, jump switches, just for the strength of it. So trying to jump up and slowly go down. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Fabric ground in front of us. Grip about as wide as shoulders. And start to bend forward at the waist. We're going to take half moon pose. So left foot stays on the floor. Left hand goes to the center of the fabric. As the right hand bumps up, swing the right leg back behind you and try to stack that hip. Try to lift the leg even higher than 90 if you have the strength. Nice inhale. Exhale, keep the hands gripping the same way that they are. As foot goes to floor, let your right shoulder rotate in its socket so that you like rotated that shoulder down. From here, we just stay in that little shoulder stretch. If you need to look for a moment, there's a normal position shoulder and then a rotated down shoulder. Good. Unwind your right shoulder. Just take a breath or two. Both arms equally in front of you. Bend forward. Right hand down to the center. Left hand bumps up. And then left leg swings back, hip stacks. Maybe your leg goes higher than 90. Good. One more breath in. Exhale. The grip the same as foot works its way down. And left shoulder, rather than just being in this normal position, rotate it down so you get that shoulder stretch. Good, inhale. Exhale, unwind the shoulder one more time, equal distance in front of us, bend at the waist, pull down. Good, bend the knees, let's roll our way up. Find the back end of the fabric, wave it out. And standing behind, take the right leg all the way inside, covering up to glute. Once we're here, bring arms to the inside, bending forward a little bit. Hook the elbows and kind of bend the elbows out to the side. That lifts up the leg. And as we're kind of leaning forward over that leg, we're in a pretty good stretch. Know that if you're too far back, you might try to come up and hop forward a hair. Good, taking a nice inhale. Exhale. Torso up. The straight leg that's in front of us, bend it out to the side, swiveling it in like a pigeon pose. And then dive both arms, both shoulders through the front. That dive forward means that we can't fall out. So from here, we're going to slide our back foot back into a toe stretch. So you slide it back and then you kind of rock forward on the foot. So it pulls those toes into a really good position. You can stay here. Or you can go for a quad stretch. The left hand grabs at the left knee and then splits up the back side so that you have the foot. Sometimes the second hand can join in, but sometimes it's kind of tight, so you don't have to. If you don't feel the quad stretch on that left leg, you'll pull the knee backwards just a little bit. That'll help you get there. So inhale, and then exhale, taking it into our nice meditative seat. I love this one. It's like a floating monk or something. I grab the foot in front of me. If the hip's kind of tight, you can just hold onto it from low. If you can set the foot up on the other, it's like a lotus pose. Make sure both of your feet, even the one in the fabric, is comfortable. You can always flex that foot if needed to make it more comfortable. If the foot slips away, just hold on to it. If not, maybe hands at the heart. And let this be a moment of just mini meditation. Just notice, how deep can we go within right now? Even if you're in a different position, let it be a meditation. Be here for 3 more peaceful, deep breaths. Each of us breathe at different rates, so when you're ready to drop this leg down, slide it back as far as you can reach. And we're in a little hip opener just by being here. If your hip is open and you don't really feel this stretch, you'll take some or all of the fabric off of your thigh, sliding it down to the knee, and that'll let your hips drop deeper. It's up to you how deep to take this. One more inhale. Nice exhale. To head out, this is what I do that's helpful. I tend to hook my foot underneath my body. And then I'll rise up, grabbing on as soon as I can so I don't trip when my shoulders are free. And then just take the fabric out. So in a way that the fabric's already kind of ready for second side. Good. So then left leg in. Make sure you're not standing too far behind thumb line. Kind of almost right up to it. And then, no rush. Take it up to glutes. That way when we're in that floating position, our glutes kind of covered. And then dive both arms inside, push elbows out. That lifts the leg up. Just enjoy that stretch. Nice inhale. Exhale, rise up, swivel the knee up to the side. Shoulders dive forward and through. Go for that toe stretch, so slide the foot back. And find a good spot where when you kind of press forward, it stretches those toes. You can stay or you can go for the quad stretch. Grabbing that right foot. If you don't feel the stretch immediately, you can pull the knee backwards a bit. Taking a nice inhale. Exhale. When the light comes around in front, it can be low, it can be on. Hands can stay holding or they can be at the heart. Whatever we do, get into a good comfortable spot and let it be your meditation for a moment. Another 3 deep breaths. Whenever you finish your third, we'll go to that pigeon. Maybe some fabric slips off your thigh to go deeper. It's up to you. And preparing to come out, pop your foot underneath you, torso up, grab on as soon as you can. Once again, send the leg out in a way that tries to keep the fabric kind of free. We'll come up to the top of the fabric. Keeping our thumbs, take extra grips, so we're not trying to be in the center, we're preparing for vampire. So take enough that when you sit inside, you'll kind of have just as much fabric as you need already down, like just enough to cover the shoulders. So for me, it's like 7 grips or so. And once you're there, come inside. Take that fabric that's behind you, that one good thin layer over the shoulders. If you still have excess, it's okay. You can use your feet to shove some of it down. And then when you're ready to go upside down, make sure you've still got enough to safely cover shoulders, hands grip up, left and right. And then when our feet come up, they hook on this back end of the fabric. They hook just by the toes turning out. That's why I get that locked in place, pushing out to rise up. I'll give you several minutes here just to play. So the shoulders getting pressed away from the ears. We are starting to get several down. Those that are still upside down, if you want to be here a bit longer, you have several more minutes before we would normally get into Shavasana. So take your time, just enjoy yourself. If you're out, you can start to have a decision here. Do you want your Shavasana today to be laying down? That's a good option. Or do you want your Shavasana to be wrapped up inside the fabric? That one, a seated version. So if you want to have that seated version, you'll start to rise up. You'll grip just one side of the fabric. Lock your arms straight. And then that hip that got lifted, swing it up and over. Come into a straddle. From here, because we weren't in the center, you're going to have to do just a hair of work to bring yourself into the center of the seated place. So you'll get the feet in at the right spot. And then grip up high to lift your glutes up. Straighten the legs out, and that'll sit you down closer to the center. So if you need a stretch or two from here, you have some time. You can press your legs wide. You can lean over. Just a couple of good moments. Eventually, the Shavasana here would be bottoms of feet just resting together. You can either have forehead resting forward or back of the head resting backwards. No matter where we're at, whether we're still upside down, whether we're laying on our back, or whether we're cocooned in, I'm going to guide us through 3 rounds of kind of like a psychic version of alternate nostril breathing, meaning we're not actually going to use our hands to block off one nostril at a time, but we'll imagine we're just breathing through one side and then out the other. So I'll guide us through 3 rounds of this. From there, we'll go toward a meditation. And then from there, we'll drop into Shavasana at some point. And so that's kind of the order. You choose how long you're in each. So even if I finish guiding the breath, you can continue breathing. But the 3 things are breathing, meditation, and that just release to Shavasana at any point that you feel ready for all of them. So preparing, take a normal breath through both nostrils. Nice exhale. And then try to imagine just inhaling left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Prepare as we transition from breathing toward meditation, toward Shavasana. Just let yourself really be in that experiment mode. How deep can I release at this point? With the next 2 minutes or so to slowly work our way to a comfortable seated place. So maybe you just start off by just taking a few more breaths, just deep relaxation as you're in this beautiful spot that you're at. Maybe eventually you'll try to start stretching and doing other good movements, but no rush. You've got 2 minutes or so. Another minute if you haven't started stretching. And to let things expand open, wiggles, fetal positions, anything that just feels helpful. So sooner or later when we're up, we'll start to bring our hands together in front of our heart. And checking in with our kind of science experiment. Did you notice any sort of correlation between how your physical body felt and how deep your mind was able to relax? Kind of fun to have little experiments like this. I wonder how I can go deeper in meditation. I wonder what aspects I can play with to help myself out. This type of curiosity can only help us as we learn more about ourselves. We can then consciously choose what we can do. So perhaps as you head forward, you continue to have curiosity with this particular question, taking moments to pause throughout the day and just see if you can get deep in a meditation, even for a mini 2-minute version. Or maybe there's other questions you'd like to continue to explore. But with a sense of curiosity leading us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.